Okay, so welcome to our second module. Today we're going to learn about data type and algorithm components. In this module, we're going to discuss what is data type is and some of components of algorithm that we use in C program. So let's check it out. First, we're going to learn about program structure of C language. Just same like human body in C language, to make a C program, we must have the structure first. The structure could be made by some functions such as header files, main function, and other function needed. And header files in our program are included by using a command that we call hash include, which is internally handled by preprocessor. And as we can see, there is a main function. This is really important function that we must include in every program that we make. And this is the other function. This is like some additional function if we needed to create other function. So second is variable and constant. So in this section, we can use our imagination to naming variable and constant, either is A or B, to save a value to our computer. So uh, it's really important to know that variable and constant is different. So value of variable can be changed at any time when the program is executed, while the constant cannot be changed and the value of it is irreplaceable. Also, don't forget the variable naming conditions, where if we want to naming our variable and or constant, we have to follow these seven rules, such as must begin with a letter of the alphabet or underscore. Subsequent characters can be letters, digits, or the underscore characters. And the maximum length of the identifier is 32 characters. Cannot use spaces, no arithmetic, do not use arithmetic operators, do not use special characters such as this, for example. And C language is case sensitive, so capital and non-capital letters are distinguished. Okay, next we're going to learn about data type. Basically, C program needs to know about its variable or constant data type to run the program. So this is some of few data type that we commonly use in C programs, such as integer. To express integer, usually use for arithmetic operation, and float to express real number. Uh, for example, like decimal numbers, and char is to express characters. Boolean to express logical value that has a value true or false. And uh, there is a table here for like format specifier and data type. So if we use data type integer, then we use a format specifier %d, and if we use data type float, there we can use a format specifier %f, data type double %lf, and data type char is used %c. And if we use data type strings, we use %s.
And now we get into arithmetic operations. In arithmetic operations, only int and float data types can be used in arithmetic operations. And here are the following operators that can be used in arithmetic operations. The first is the asterisk, which is used to multiply two numbers. The second is the slash, which is used to divide two numbers. And then there's the plus, which you can use to add two numbers together. There's the minus, which we can use to subtract two numbers. And the last is the modulo, which you can use to find the remainder of the quotients of two numbers. The mod operator in C language is the percent sign. This operation can only be used for the int data types. And then there's the struct. The struct is a data type created by the user. This type is made because there is a relationship between variables which, when combined, have a common purpose. To create the struct type, the keyword struct is used. At the declaration of the struct, the name of the struct is placed at the front end or front end of the struct, but with a different name. But when you're going to call back to the struct, you would only need to call one of the names. Here, we can see an example of a struct. So the struct name is std. And in the struct, there are four components: name, ID numbers, majors, and grades. Each one of these components can have different data types. For example, here, the first, second, and third data types can be characters or strings. But the fourth data type, grades, has to be an integer or a float so that we can use it in an operation. We'll get to see examples of those operations next.
Hello, let me introduce myself. My name is Vincentius Jason Hadi with assistant code VIM. So let's check about the programming example. The first example is a simple program to calculate how big is the area of circle. Start with header file. Here you can see stdio.h with hashtag include. After that we got constant p. After edit file, there is main function, there is variable r with integer data type, there is area with float data type, and for displaying statement using printf. Okay, there is some ways to declare a constant. One of them is with hashtag define p3.14. In displaying statement, we get double apostrophe circle radius equals space, and to save the input of integer we use scanf with double apostrophe %b is the format specifier for integer, and don't forget use ampersand before the variable name. Why? Because we want to change the value of the variable address of r from 0 here in r to scanf that user will be inputted after the program executed. And then the area stated to be v times r in main function. After that, we want to print or display the area of circle equals %f \n double apostrophe close the statement first and then comma variable area. Okay. In this %f use .2 so that only first two digits are displayed for the decimals. And then you can see return 0 on the very last line. If the return value of after the program executed is 0, then the program is indicated successful. And don't forget to call the area, we use %f because the area data type is float. We try to run the program. First we copy and then we open dev C++. We we click new source file or Control N, and then just paste the code. Up here we can write this is a simple program to calculate area of a circle. This is not mandatory, you just name it. And we are trying to run the program. Double check. Okay, main function okay. There is curly brackets. Check the data type, check the variable, check the scanf with ampersand. Okay, let's try run. You can use F9 to compile the code. F9. We change to C source files, and then we name the file area of circle. After the code is compiled, we can just run with F10. Press F10 to execute the program and display circle radius. We use 2 and we press enter. So area of circle is 12.56. So we can see the point 2 in format specifier float are useful to limit the decimals. And there's another way to define a constant. We can declare after the main function const float p equals 3.14, and then we can delete this line. Since the p is float, there is decimal, it's real number, right? Decimals, we need to make it const, so the float are in constant. After that, we compile first, F9. Okay, compilation results. F10 to run, we use 1, and then we can see the area of circle is 3.14, still the same. Okay, we can make new with Control N. Okay, here are the second program. Struct data type. Here we see that struct data type is customizable. Remember to use struct before variable name. Struct student. After we declare some sub data type and the sub variable like char and in is the sub data type, and name and majors, ID numbers, grades are sub variable. Don't forget to close with identifier, std. Identifier is like the name of the how to call the struct data type. The name here, we know that name is long, that's why we use square brackets here with 50, and majors square brackets 50. It's for the length of the majors and the name. After that, there is main function, displaying statement like printf and displaying name. And after that, to saving the input string, we use gets brackets variable name, not instead of scanf. So we can use std, but std is identifier for struct. But what is we want to save the name, so we use std.name, and so on. Same with majors and ID numbers. We use scanf. Why? Because ID numbers here are integer data type, not char data type like name or nor majors. Remember, in scanf we use ampersand before the variable name, and then grades also %d for this format specifier and ampersand before the variable names, and displaying output printf name %s for string format specifier close the double apostrophe and then comma variable name. Same like majors, ID numbers but different format specifier because different data types, and then comma variable name, this is the same, and grades also the same. Return 0, don't forget. Let's check the program. First, we copy and paste to the dev C++. As we can see, we can name it student data, or we can use just double slash student data. Stack includes header files, data struct, and then there is main function here. For input, here is the while we type std and we click dot, press dot, we get some of the sub variables. We can just click whether we want name, major, ID numbers, or grades. We don't need to type one by one. If we use struct data type, we click name and then press enter, so std.name. Same with std.majors, std.id numbers, and so on. ID numbers plus ampersand, don't forget the apostrophe, \n. What's for \n? \n is for enter in display. Okay, let's compile it first. Make sure save as source files, and we name it student. Okay, after we compile it, we can just run. Okay, input your name, say dascom, major FTA, ID numbers are 3 to 1, and grades 100. Okay, so the output is name dascom, majors FTE, ID numbers 3 to 1, and grades 100. Okay. I think that's the end of our module discussion today. We know that every program must have variables, so it's quite important about understanding function of data type and algorithm components. We hope our explanations will be helpful, and we are very sorry if there is unpleasant words, and see you next time.